Now I can hear you.
Hi, Liz, can you hear us?
Yes, now.
Excellent, we hear you. Thanks for joining remotely.
Sure. I apologize for any sounds in the background. I'm with my 10-year-old nephews.
Okay. Well, can't hear him, so you gotta speak up a little bit. We're rolling. All right. Well, good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the June 21st. Today's
20th.
Today's 20th. Tomorrow's 21st. First day of summer. So welcome to the Growth Planning Committee's meeting for June. I'm Dan Saunders, and
Paul Hogan here, sorry.
Michelle Radley.
and joining us remotely is Liz.
Liz Johnson?
Excellent. Okay. So tonight we have a review of the minutes for May 2nd, 2023. I'm not sure I saw those.
I don't think I saw them.
Okay, yeah, I can get April to send them out to you, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we'll
sorry.
table that for the next.
Or maybe it was before the last meeting and I,
Might have been.
After the last meeting. Okay. So what we hop right into our big agenda item, which is to review the revisions that need to be made to the comprehensive plan to ensure that it is complete and is consistent with the state planning office's requirements. So Michelle, I'll turn this over to you if you want to lead us through the discussion.
Sure, thanks, Dan. So the last time that we had met, we had a couple of clarifying questions that we needed to get cleared up by Tom at the state. So I'll start with those. One of the questions that we had asked of him was for number 1 and number 12 in terms of the revisions. In number 12, it references a section 2.7. And so we had gotten some clarification from him on that, and that is referenced in chapter 208 in terms of the review of the comprehensive plan. And that is the exact same language that is in number 1
Okay.
as well. So it's just basically in statute.
All right.
So it gives us the option to use that as kind of a shorter piece and
Okay.
as just a reference.
Okay.
So that had been cleared up. And then we had also had a question about number 2, the second revision under the housing strategies. And as we discussed, we already have a growth area where mobile home parks are allowed. So we asked Tom if it was okay if we changed that language to maintain rather than designate. And he said that that's absolutely fine. So we went forward with that language instead. And if we just want to go piece by piece through these different revisions, we can. If not, it's literally the exact same language. We just went forward with adding it into the pieces in the appendix for the strategies and goals. And Tom went and renumbered them as well. And then changed the date updated.
so it's just the red line.
It's literally just the red line. Yes, that's correct.
So why don't we just,
Yeah.
there are so few, why don't we
Yeah,
just go?
sure, of course.
The first one is in housing, chapter 6.
Yes, so I have them labeled off here.
Strategy 15. This is what you just referred to.
Yes.
To maintain the, within the zone,
Mm-hmm.
that mobile homes were allowed.
Yep.
Yep.
So, yep, that's on page 7. And then we opted to go, by the way, just to preface that, we opted to go with number 12 rather than number 1, just to, save space
Okay.
on the paper copy, but it means the same thing. And then number 3 would be that's on page, somewhere back, but that's on page 26 of the appendix, along with number 4 and 5. Those are all under the recreation strategies.
Hold on, let me find it. Okay, thank you.
Yes, of course.
Did he say anything about the motorized versus non-motorized use? I mean,
It's really just box checking.
just box checking?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll box check it. Very good.
There are no questions about that. Strategy update 6 is on page 24. one page prior to that. And that's under the public facilities and service strategies.
Okay.
Okay, new public facilities comprising at least 75% of new municipal growth-related capital investments in designated growth area. Got it.
And yeah, we designated that to the town manager and the Board of Selectmen,
Thank you.
of course. And then number 7 is on page 29 under future land use plan policies.
Okay.
So, for Liz's benefit, this is the goal was ensure orderly growth and prevent sprawl, and number 14 is to coordinate the community's land use strategies with other local and regional land use planning efforts.
Thank you.
And then the final ones that we have are actually on the next page.
Is the red line in 15, 16 just because it changed numbers?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so 15, 16, 17, I got it. Okay.
Yep. And so we opted to do, another piece I'll mention is we opted to do number 6 instead of number 11, as those were the 2 coordinated pairs
Oh,
on
right.
the request. So you won't see number 11 on this page. You'll just see revisions 8, 9, 10, and 12.
Okay.
Are we still on page
Yep.
30?
Yep,
Got it.
that's
Okay.
the 4 that are there.
And was that it?
So the only other change, that's it for the appendix.
Right.
That's all for the required change. The only other piece that we edited was the comment that we had received from Melinda Anderson about including the name of her farm and removing one farm that Tom had listed in
Arundel.
Arundel.
Right.
So we had just swapped those out
Great.
and made that revision.
That's on page 146.
Yep,
Great. Looks good.
excellent.
Awesome. And yep, those are the only changes that we needed. And again, we did talk to Tom at the state, and he said that this would be able to provide us with a consistency and completeness. And we're looking to get that and then move it for the November warrant,
Okay. Great, thank you.
of course.
You want a motion to?
Yeah,
I make a motion, we accept the plan as amended by this text tonight.
Liz, do you want to second that?
Yep, second.
All right, any further discussion? All right, all in favor, say
Aye.
Uh,
aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Excellent, so that passed 3-0. Or 5-0, depends how you're counting. But we'll take the 3 since that's for the record. We didn't make any changes to the text at all, or is it strictly just?
It was
updating
strictly that and then that one revision in chapter 7 for the
Right.
farm.
The
but-
one revision, but,
Just the appendix.
Right, it was
And the one.
just the strategies and a couple of policies that needed updating.
very good. Well, hopefully we can provide a nice little cheat sheet for everyone. That say we'll approve this, and then going
Right.
forward in November, we provide a little cheat sheet of what the changes are and why.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, hopefully it'll go through without much of a hindrance.
When do we have to hear back by in order for it to get on the ballot? In November?
I believe sometime next month. I don't have that date off the top of my head, but it really shouldn't be an issue. Tom said he can get it turned around in 2 weeks once we get it
Okay.
done.
Very
Great.
good. So we get that to him. I mean, worst case scenario, we still should be able to move forward as if it's gonna be approved,
For sure.
right?
Yeah.
Good. All right.
So when should we meet next?
That was the question I had for you folks. We don't really,
I would say
after talking with Werner, we don't really have anything additional for you guys at, this time, but maybe once we start getting that drafted to go on the warrant, we could have conversation,
Yep.
have a meeting, but it's really up to you folks.
Okay, I would say, let's hold off on July,
For sure.
right? And then kind of leave the August one there, depending what we hear.
Sure.
If he's got any other changes he wants after we're reviewing again. But I would hope that August, maybe we can postpone that as well and let's hop into September, unless we need to do something for.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's something actionable that we
need
have,
that
then,
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Sounds good. I'll make a motion.
Any other discussion? I got you here now, Paul, I don't wanna let you go.
Yeah.
Anything else, Liz?
I don't think so.
All right, Paul, you have anything else?
Just a motion that we adjourn.
Okay, I'll accept that motion. I hear a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I love these.
Quickest meeting ever?
I think it actually might be.